Hello YouTube, I have a commander deck tech for you today, like I promised. Today's commander is Kami of the Crescent Moon. He's a 2 blue, he's a 1/3. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws a card. He's most people play him as a group hug. I play him as a more of a control-y aspect kind of general, and he's by far my favorite. Alright, let's get to the mana base. First off, we have a Lonely Sandbar for cycling. Same thing with Remote Isle. To layer less helps us search for our reliquary tower if we need it. Inkmoth next to it is an alternative win condition. Same thing with Thespian Stage, I've actually had happen before. It lets us copy our opponent's lands. Mystifying Maze is a cheaper version of Maze of Ith. It's worse too, but who cares? It gets the job done. Reliquary Tower, no maximum hand size, favorite land in the deck. Academy Ruins, it lets us get our artifacts back from the grave over and over again. Has an infinite combo that I'll go over later. Terrain Generator, it lets us accelerate mana. Temple of the False Gods boosts our mana, gives us mana ramp. Ancient Tomb does the same thing. Sea of the Synoid is a searchable land with Trinket Mage, it's pretty good. And then we have 25 Zendikar Islands. So let me just get these out of the way. There's a lot of them. Sorry. How many are there? Alright, so first we have enchantments, and the first enchantment is Rhystic Study. It's a 3-mana enchantment. Whenever a player casts a spell, if they don't pay one, I get to draw a card. So it's pretty good. Really good early game, draws lots of cards. Control Magic is a control enchant creature for 4. Dissipation Fields, whenever a permanent deals combat damage to me, it returns it to their owner's hand, so it stops people from wanting to attack me. Mind Over Matter is probably the best enchantment ever. It basically, you discard a card and you can tap anything down, and it goes infinite with a lot of things, which I'll go over. Elixir of Mortality reoccurs my entire deck. Brutal Effigy is removal. Lotus Petal's ramp, the best thing to do with this is turn 1 play Kami. It's awesome. Mana Vault, taps to add 3. To untap it, you just have an upkeep for 4 or deals 1 to you. Salt Monolith. Gilded Lotus, all mana ramp. Gauntlet of Power gives my creatures +1/+1, and my blue mana sources, or my islands, tap for double. Sensei's Divine Top, really good early game, but actually late game it does nothing. Howling Mine is an extra Kami effect. Anvil Garden is an extra Kami effect with a no maximum hand size attached to it for all players. Temple Bell is goes infinite. Say you tap, draw a card, discard that card to untap it, and you can make your opponent draw their whole deck. Fallen Mythos is another way to draw more cards. Ivory Tower is a way to gain life equal to the number of cards in your hand -4. Same thing with Vincer's Journal, except you just gain one life at the beginning of your upkeep. Sword Feast and Famine, it untaps all your lands and makes your creatures scary and pro black and green, so it's my favorite sword, so it's in here. If you're playing 1v1, probably the best target for Academy Ruins, so you can control your opponent forever. Fog Bank is simply in here because of its amazing artwork with the Velociraptors. I mean, you gotta love it. Phantasmal Image is one of 2 copy cards that I play in my deck anymore. Clone's just not a removal spell anymore, so Phantasmal Image is still good because it costs 2. Snapcaster Mage, it lets me flashback my spells. Trinket Mage tutors for any artifact that I need, basically. Echo Mage helps me go infinite with my spells. Archaeomancer really curves them really well. Solemn Simulacrum draws a card and he mana ramps me. Plus he's a board presence. Phyrexian Metamorph copies artifacts and creatures. He's really, really good. He's definitely the best copy card ever printed in my opinion, besides like the early ones. Kaiga the Tidestar, whenever he dies you gain control of a permanent. He's one of the cards like I want to remove, but I can't, I don't have all the cards I need yet. Wormcoil Engine is just a big scary buff. Aetherling is a unkillable creature basically. Consecrated Sphinx is the best creature. Whenever an opponent draws a card, I draw 2 cards. Well, by like the ridiculousness on how much card draw we have, I'm drawing a lot of cards off that. Platinum Angel, and a way to not lose. Inkwell Leviathan, major board presence. Now we're on to instants. Counter spells. Starting off with counterspell, Dissipate, exiles it, Hinder, puts it on the bottom. It's a very jerk move. Forbid, which is my favorite counterspell. Pay its buyback, discard 2 cards, it goes back to my hand, so it's really good. Rewind, counter target spell and tap up to 4 lands, extremely powerful. Last word, if I'm in a counter war with another counter deck, or like a friend of mine plays Kami in my local shop, so I'll just be like last stand. Can't do anything about it. Cryptic Command, very powerful. Really don't have to go over that all too much. Mystical Tutor, best thing to search for is Temporal Mastery, so Time Walk on the next turn. Merchant Scroll, another tutor for instants and interrupts. Cyclonic Rift is a board wiper. Pay its Overload, it's devastating. Capsize is a unsummon with buyback for 3. Very, very powerful effect. Rights of Replication, always paying its kicker. Just make a lot of copies of target creature. Acquires a cheap version of Bribery. You get a target artifact from player's library and you can put it on the battlefield. Ponder is a way to draw cards. You look at the top 3 and draw 1. Brainstorm, same. You draw 3, put 2 back in order. Ancestral Recall, Ancestral Vision actually. It's suspend 4 and then it's Ancestral Recall. Recurring Insight, which is the best draw spell in the deck. Basically, you draw cards equal to the number of cards in target player's hand, which is normally a lot, and then it has a rebound, so it's very powerful. Time Reversal to reoccur cards. My deck is really good at going infinite on turns, so we have Time Warp, take an extra turn. Temporal Mastery, take an extra turn. Walk the Eons, which is the best take an extra turn card ever printed in my opinion, since it has a buyback. You have to sack 3 islands, but with the mana I produce in this deck, it's no problem. Then we have Planeswalkers in order from my favorite, or my least favorite to my favorite, in power wise. Jason Memory Adept will just get me killed off the table pretty quick, but he's still good. Near late game when I have board presence, it's one of the better ways for me to kill my opponent. Jace Balerion is just another way to draw a card. Karn Liberated is more removal, basically. His -3 is relevant. I actually have ultimated him in EDH before. It was hilarious. I ended up getting Rurik Thar, Iona, Shield of Amera, and something else I can't remember, but the game was pretty much over. Tamio the Moon Sage. She taps down things, she draws lots of cards, and she helps me go infinite extremely easily. Normally I'll play Walk the Eons when she's out, plus her, and I just keep paying its buyback, because if I ultimate her, it's devastating. Tezzeret the Seeker, that helps me untap my, he helps me untap my lands, and helps me, untap my artifacts, I'm sorry, and helps me go infinite really easily, and helps me, boost my mana and mana ramp. Jace, Architect of Thought, he is Factor Fiction Jace, and he's very powerful. His +1's super relevant in EDH, and his -8 is devastating. And then we have Jason Mind Sculptor. His 0 ability is most relevant. I have used his -1 before, and I tried ultimating him one game, but it didn't get there. But yeah, he's probably most powerful because he draws all of the cards, and when I don't know, he's just probably the most powerful by far. So I hope you guys liked that, and hope you enjoyed my Kami of the Crescent Moon EDH deck. I hope you guys subscribe, stay tuned for more videos like this. I'm trying to figure out better ways to do it. I was going to do it on my laptop, but my laptop is very blurry, and the glare on the card is terrible. It's really bad, you have no idea. So I'm thinking of new ways to do it. I'm moving in 2 days, so hopefully I might figure out something soon. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Alright guys, see ya.